welcome back to the channel. I've got on here a guy who I know very well. He is my brother.
Hello. My name's Michael, 29 years old, Jeff's younger brother. I think you're 2.5 years older than me.
2.5, I think so, yes.
Yeah. So I was the youngest, until we had a little brother 6 years ago. So, yeah, that's fun, right? We always have fun with him. We still have fun with him and whatnot. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Thanks for coming on,
Yeah.
Mikey. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought you here today to talk about suicide,
I'm
and
very familiar with it.
yeah, some of your attempts, my attempts, and how they've kind of been going in the same kind of family direction for a while now. But go ahead, tell us about your childhood.
All right. So obviously, me and him had the same childhood. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, we went through a struggle for a long time growing up. Parents divorced when we were young kids, and we've had to, jump back and forth. Stay at mom's, go to dad's, stuff like that. And I'm not gonna go into the personal details. Really, what it is, it's just if we got in trouble, we got whooped. Obviously, that's how it should be in today's world still. But parents are too lenient on kids nowadays, which is sad. But I wanted to say that it's like we went through a struggle. We weren't the only ones. I'm sure a lot of you out there have been through the same struggle. I wanted to say that we did grow up a little rough. You guys aren't the only ones who. We're not the only ones who grew up rough. I'm sure there's a lot of you people out there in the audience who have had it rough as well. Especially when it comes to school. Me and my brother have been bullied in school, and before I went to the same school as he did, I've gotten bullied because he got bullied as well, and I've been thrown in the trash can. I've been rolled around in a hallway and stuff before. I've been picked on and stuff like that. But it doesn't affect me anymore today. But we could fast forward to after I got kicked out of public school because I had a little bit of weed on me, and I got kicked out of there. And it was his senior year, my freshman year. So got kicked out of there. I was out of school for like 3 months. I had to repeat 9th grade. I think after I got expelled, no, my freshman year, when I started my freshman year, I had some angry outbursts. I couldn't even control. I'm sure you remember those.
Oh yeah,
times.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I've had a lot of angry outbursts. It was like I didn't care about anything. I would say that it was basically my first phase of hell that I was going through. I was entirely selfish, and that was the bad part about it. I was entirely too selfish. I would do my own thing. I'd do whatever I wanted to do. But yeah, getting me in trouble, getting myself in trouble and whatnot is, not the best way to go, obviously, especially for your future. But I've always gotten in trouble, growing up. 7th grade, went to alternative school the first time because I was trying to be a kid exploring anatomy, as you could say it. But going to 9th grade is when I got in serious trouble. I started a fight, got sent to alternative school. My temper was so bad off, and then got kicked out eventually because of what I've done. I repeated in the 9th grade. This is when the first time I've experienced like depression. Now, my depression getting to me worse and worse as time went by, and I think I still have my angry outbursts as well.
Well, let me ask you this: Did you ever go to a therapist or a psychiatrist? Were you ever diagnosed with anything?
I did. As time came along with my depression, anxiety, eventually it led to my anxiety went up so bad. Like my blood pressure was. Can't remember what my blood pressure was, but I remember it was just very high. They sent me to a therapist in Birmingham because that's where I lived at the time. I had anxiety, depression issues. I didn't know how to cope with it. I went to a therapist. I tried a therapist. Didn't really work much for me because, I was always isolating myself and didn't even really care much to go out and enjoy life and all that because, I was paying bills. I was always broke. I couldn't really go out and do anything. And then the first time I went to a therapist was 2015 after a breakup I went through. But also, I was still selfish at the time as well. My therapist tried to help me, didn't work because of my own mistakes, my own fault. As well as I tried a therapist for a second time, same result. It was my own fault.
Yeah, you definitely got to be open-minded when you go to a therapist. Believe me, I know. And that's
Very
a
close
great
minded.
thing to admit as well. When it's hard for us as people to admit our own faults, especially to another person. And that just shows his growth. The fact that he can admit when he's wrong and admit that he was wrong. And not necessarily wrong per se, just, admit to his own faults. So go ahead and tell everybody, have you ever had any suicidal thoughts?
I've had plenty. I've had about maybe 5 or 6. And majority of them were over breakups.
Did you
Because I've
ever
always-
have any attempts?
Yeah, I've had about 2 attempts. Both of them were putting a gun in my head.
Go into what happened when you put the gun to your head. If you don't mind, if you're comfortable with that.
I don't mind. First time I had a revolver, and I was gonna just try to play Russian roulette. Have 1 bullet, stick in, spin it, see how that happens. Pull the trigger, and it actually didn't fire off.
You got
And-
lucky. Blessed.
Yeah, and then I dropped it, started crying. I'm like, why, man? Why am I still here? That's what I was thinking at the time. And yes, breakups can actually affect you in some way. Now,
They
just
can.
sometimes mentally unstable people will go off in the deep end, like I did.
I have.
Yeah, it's
For
bad.
sure.
It's bad. People who can cope with that, they'll just think, well, this probably ain't for me.
So basically, you put a revolver to your head. You played Russian roulette, and the gun didn't go off.
Right. And this is a sign of telling me that there's a plan ahead of me. I didn't realize that at the moment, but now that I look back, basically what it is, it was telling me that God had plans for me in my life. But it was a plan that God was telling me that He had plans for me in the future, and this isn't the end yet. But eventually I got over the breakup, thankfully. And the second time was actually my recent relationship with my ex. That was bad. That was a shit show of a relationship. Excuse my French, but I had to admit that it's a shit show of a relationship. Every week she would break up with me, she'd leave me. But then every time I get paid, she'd ask me, "Hey, how about we try to work this out?" It was like that every week for probably 8 to 9 months.
I'm sure that was really rough for you.
Yeah, it was. The day before my birthday is when I had the second attempt of pulling a gun in my head, and this was actually my own pistol that I bought. And
Was it a revolver?
no, it was actually a 9mm pistol,
Okay.
semi-auto. I still have that gun today. I only keep it for like protection and whatnot. I don't ever try to attempt anything.
So what happened when you did attempt with that?
When I did attempt, I was on the phone with my ex-girlfriend. I told her, "I'm done with this shit. I don't want to live my life anymore." You know, every time like she would actually mention, you know, what I did in my past, this and that, before I even met her, and it wasn't even like, it was like irrelevant to the relationship I was in with her. And but the day before my birthday, I tried to attempt, and then she ended up coming down there basically, and I was, you know, whatever, you know, it's like being there for you. But you know, I was in a I'm not going into personal details with that. I was just, all I can say is I was in a toxic relationship, a really toxic relationship, and that was just the worst thing I've ever went through. But now, today, I have a wonderful girlfriend, a wonderful relationship. You know, we're there for each other. You know, no matter what, me and her are a great team. And you know, we get married one day. You know, we're going to be a wonderful team together. That's what I believe in my head right now. But you know, also, before even me and her met, I left my ex, and I was focused on myself. I was focused on what I love doing. I love riding motorcycles, no doubt. I love riding motorcycles. I want to give y'all a tip. Anything y'all do that y'all love, that y'all are passionate about, no matter what it is, you know, go for it in a positive way. You know, be positive about your passion. You know, just for example, I love riding motorcycles. I enjoy popping wheelies. You know, that's a way of destroying my anxiety and depression. And you know, now I don't have to ride a motorcycle anymore. I could give it away, trade in for something else, or I can just sell it, and I'll be fine. Because you know, simplicity is all that matters in life. You don't have to have the coolest tech gadget. You don't have to have the latest fashion or the latest trend, as I should say. You don't have to have any of that. You can live your life simple, and you can live off the grid if you want to and be happy. It's just up to the person. But it's basically up to you whether you want to actually live life in a positive way or in a negative way. It's up to you entirely. It's in the head, it's in the brain. We all go through it. We've all been through phases. We've all been through stages of life. It's just about how you overcome these situations and what decisions you can make to cope with the situation you're in.
I agree, and that's a very good way of putting it. You know, you've been through a lot in your life. I know we both have. We've come through, and one of my goals with this channel is to help you, all of you, to get through what you're going through, and to help you learn to cope with what you're going through. So in closing, is there anything you want to add? Is there anything that you want to tell people, maybe about suicide and how other people can help people with suicide.
Yeah. I want to say this: suicide is definitely not an option. It's definitely an option. But here's the thing: you commit suicide, you're gone. Your family's gonna be hurt, really, really bad. And you know, if you have family who don't care about you, you got friends who care about you at least. I mean, you gotta have somebody. There's somebody in your life, no matter what. There's got to be somebody in your life who does really, really, and truly care about you, no matter what their personality is like, no matter how they treat you. You always got to be the stronger person. I've had, and I'm living proof. The ex-girlfriend, she treated me like crap, and I did everything I could for her because I loved her. But also, it's like, hey, I can't let nobody walk over me like that. Because you let somebody walk over you, you know, you're going to be down. You going to try to please everybody? Don't. That's one thing you do not do. Number one thing you do not do is try to please everybody. Because it's going to turn into a conflict of interest eventually. So, my thing is, focus on yourself. Focus on the things that you love doing no matter what others say. Because here's the thing. I do want to say society sucks. Society sucks completely.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I love you.
All right, love you.
Love you very much.
Love you too, man.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all viewing this video. If you will give him a like, subscribe, and just subscribe to his videos. I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come. You know, I support him 100% completely.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. And as I always say, like and subscribe.